Do you own an Axial Capra and wish that you just had a little more overdrive, or any overdrive at all for that matter? Well, you are in luck, because today we are going to install overdrive in our Axial Capra. I'm so glad that you could join us today. Not only did I wake up, which makes for a fantastic day, I get to play with scale crawlers. Yes, scale crawlers. So today's video, we are going to install overdrive on our Axial Capra. And you may not be able to quite get these gears yet when this video drops. However, they will be on the market extremely soon. And they are designed by Team Garage Hack. However, you will probably find them at supershafty.com as the main vendor for the first round of them. And being as how I know Chris at Team Garage Hack very well, I happen to get myself an early set of gears. So today, what we are going to do is install them in our portals. And that's what it is. Let's just describe what is going on. So we have our portal reduction kind of hiding behind the tires in here, and inside that portal are two gears, which we will see soon. And what Chris did at Team Garage Hack is he designed a new set of gears that install in place of our normal portal gears. And this gives us really what I feel is the magic zone of 30% overdrive. And I want 30% overdrive in there. There's not an easy way to get that out of the transmission. So, bam balam, we're gonna install these gears and get going after we take this big old thorn out of our tires. Oh, hey, look at that, scale thorns. I got a scale flat. So, for this, you will need a bunch of Allen wrenches. I'm not sure what sizes yet, and you will also need your little nut driver, which I do believe is a 7mm for these nuts. Yeah, 7mm. So we take off our wheels, and then we'll be able to access the portals. Easy peasy. This is actually going to be a pretty straightforward swap. I like those. So what mods have you done to your Capra? There's not a whole lot of stuff available yet, but maybe you've gotten creative and made your own. I'd totally like to hear about it. I haven't really done a lot to mine yet. Sometimes I like to keep my rig stock for a period of time, especially considering the YouTube channel. Kind of get a good feel for a rig so that I can make some recommendations on them. But over time, I end up modifying pretty much everything, one way or another. And that is probably the best reason why I got into making motors, is that I just couldn't leave good enough alone, and the motors for some reason called to me, so I ended up modifying motors and doing some motor design. In this day and age of 3D printing, it's pretty easy to be able to design something up in Fusion 360, some free software, print up whatever it is that you have, and at least have some prototypes for yourself. So we take the pin out of the hex. The hex should slide off of our exterior stub shaft here. A little bit of a tight fit. There we go. And then we take these cover bolts off, unbolt our portal cover, and we should have direct access to our gears. Like I said, a pretty straightforward swap. Now we have removed the 4 screws from our portal cover, and the portal cover should slide right off. Oh, look at that, nice and beautiful. Wasn't that bad. So it looks like we have a gear on bottom that is bigger and a gear on top that is smaller. Yippee! It is just as we would hope. So essentially we just swap out the gears, and let's take a look at the size differences of these gears. So as you can see, the aftermarket overdrive gears from Team Garage Hack are smaller for the lower gear and is going to be bigger for the upper gear, so that we can have the extra reduction. All right, gear 1 installed. Gear 2 should just slip right off. Look at there, easy peasy. And once again, the new overdrive gear is larger to give us this new ratio. Oh yeah, nice fit. Now we have installed our new gears into the housing of our portal, and all we do is install the screws back, bolt everything together. This is what I love, which is an easy bolt-on modification. Not every day needs to be a hobby it together day or a customized build it yourself day. Although it is very fun to do and it is very rewarding to do custom work, not every day needs to be custom work. Sometimes we can let other people do the work, other machinists do the work. Not everybody has access to a CNC machine. I have a couple of them myself, but not everybody has that ability. If you do though, let me know. I really like operating CNC machines, little manual lathes and mills, and just any sort of production equipment or prototyping equipment. I really like that kind of stuff. It's like another hobby almost. If you're into that, let me know what kind of machines you have. I currently have 2 Taig mini mills, 1 Taig mini lathe, a laser engraving machine. Let's see, spoke rolling machine, synchronous tapping machine. I could probably go on. Nothing too big, nothing too serious though. I don't have any pallet changers. I don't have any automatic tool changing cabinets. Not in my shop, not right now. There we go, easy peasy, just like that. Bolted on. Since it's in plastic, we're not gonna tighten it down too much. And reverse operation here. Pop that hex back on. Put a crossbend back in and we are almost home free. Now we have installed the new Overdrive gear set inside of our portal on this side and bolted it back in. And through the power of editing, our other side is done. Bing! Now with our 30% overdrive installed, we are ready to go outside and play with our scale rock crawlers. We are outside with the Capra. We have our overdrive gears installed and now it is time to test. We'll see if this overdrive gives us a little bit more dig on the rocks. And dig isn't exactly overdrive. They kind of accomplish the same thing though. Whereas you could consider dig to be almost infinite overdrive where your rear doesn't spin at all and your front is spinning at the normal speed. Of course, this is when it's locked up. And so they kind of do the same thing. All right, so just right off the bat, I can tell that it is kind of pulling in to the rocks a little harder with those fronts. Probably hard to come across on the camera. But I can definitely feel the difference on the rig. Oh man, this is exactly what the Capra needed. And it does increase our ratio on the front, so we are going to have a little bit less torque pulling through objects unless I gear back down, which I will be doing soon. I'm still running stock ratio with a 16-turn Magnum Crawlmaster BRXL on 3-cell LiPo. So my next thing is going to definitely be gearing down from that stock pinion and throwing on something smaller. I did pick up one of the Vivaton transmission cases so that we can get a little bit more ratio in the transmission. But long term, you know, if I could just, you know, go nuts on this rig, so to speak, I would do a SCX10 style transmission for a lot higher gear ratio. Yeah, I'm really liking how this overdrive is making it suck down onto the rocks. I am noticing a little bit more torque twist on the rear because of it. Because as we decrease our axle ratios, in particular on the front, it will transmit more torque to the frame. But really, this guy just is driving extremely stable. The 30% overdrive was not too much for the suspension geometry as it sits. Very predictable still, very, very predictable. Yeah, noticing, you know, a little bit more, you can see the torque twist there. The front tire lifted up some. Let's see if it'll dig around enough to get on top of this rock. I don't think it'll quite get there, but we'll see. Oh, is it gonna pull up? Is it gonna pull up? I got my rear tire hooked. Let's see if we can pull across this. Oh, not quite, not quite. We'll go a little bit better line on this and see if it pulls. I do not think that it would pull this line before. I don't think it'll quite pull this line again. It's a little bit too tall for the tires that are on there. We'll try a couple more cross-traversing lines. So the one downside to adding the front overdrive is side hilling can get really tricky. And of course I can't see my rocks very well because of all the leaves. Dang, these beautiful life-giving trees. But overall, very, very satisfied with the amount of overdrive. And I'm not running any sort of weights in my wheels. No other modifications to this, so to speak. Very stable, even for being kind of moist rocks this morning. Just, this mod will stay. So I can highly recommend to anyone that wants to do overdrive on the rig or make the rig more capable. I can highly recommend these TGH gears for the Capra. Again, you can find them at supershafty.com whenever they are released. He may have a pre-order on them right now, pre-sale. And we'll just do one quick line. One quick line, I'm gonna throw that front end into a hole. I'll drive a little quicker. Not so careful and planned, but oh no, evidently I need to plan a little bit more. All right, I'll walk around. I'll walk around so I can see my line a little better. There we go. Just walks it. Absolutely walks it. Definitely highly recommended on here. And these are machined gears from, I believe, 1018 tool steel that is hardened, case hardened. So really don't have any concerns about the, it's not a cast gear, it's a machine gear. So very unlikely that we're going to see any long-term reliability issues. It's a higher quality gear than what comes in there. Which, speaking of, I do believe that they are coming out with a stock ratio gear that is also hardened 1018 tool steel. So yeah, as usual, I could just keep crawling out here, but I am going to sign off for today. So final thoughts on this. The overdrive ratio just really hit the nail on the head. I think this is an extremely good upgrade for the rig. I will definitely be putting a set of gears in my comp rig that I'm building as well, so that we can have that. Unless I end up going with a overdrive ratio in the transmission, doesn't really matter either way. But yeah, so 2 thumbs up on that upgrade. This is going to make the Capra extra capable for me and for you if you want to choose the same. If you do have any more questions about anything, just feel free to post them down below in the comments and I'll do my best to get to them. So thanks for tuning in and have a good day.